Are you hearing anything for the night one main event? Are they going to do Sasha, Bianca? Because I think that's the right decision.
No, I think it's going to be Lashley and Drew McIntyre on night one, and then night two.
Not that I don't mind. I think it's
No.
going to be a great match, but I think Sasha, Bianca deserve that spotlight.
Absolutely.
Here's the problem. I think Bianca Belair is not too well known of a star yet for that spot. You got to remember when the women did headline. Look at the women. Becky Lynch,
Yeah,
the hottest thing in wrestling.
I was there.
Right. The hottest thing in wrestling at that time. The man of this, it couldn't have been hotter. Ronda Rousey, a worldwide superstar outside of wrestling and in entertainment in general, and Charlotte Flair. I mean, Bianca Belair is not there yet. She's not there yet to headline WrestleMania. I would say she's about 6 months to a year away. Maybe we'll see what she does. But I think they had to go. Listen, Bobby Lashley's been in the game a long time. So is Drew McIntyre, and it has nothing to do with women and men or whatever. It has to do with business. And quite honestly, Bianca Belair is not a bigger star than neither Lashley or Drew McIntyre.
That's fair to say. And also, it would be two matches on main events. That would be a killer, too.
Right.
You're not main eventing a Raw match.
Sasha's a big enough star, but her opponent isn't. So, unfortunately, by default, Sasha has to kind of take a step back with that. And I don't listen. That again, when you really think about it in the grand scheme of things, it makes sense. People would say, and even there's some podcasters, notable podcasters, who were saying something that made me scratch my head, which is, but Bianca Belair won the Royal Rumble. She gets the main event, WrestleMania. They can change anything they want anytime.
Yeah, they're. Vince does that a lot.
It's not set in stone, and she faces the champion of her choice. People, again, WWE can say, we didn't say that match closes WrestleMania. We said they get to be part of a main event level match against the champion of their choice. Mm-hmm. We didn't say they go on last. Did you hear me say we go on last there? I didn't say. That's what I'm saying. So people have to, again, what I was telling you guys before, it's not that hard to figure out if you're paying attention. Wrestling, it's funny that fans who are smart fans, and I'm not putting them down, but how they let these things escape them and they say, no, they go on last. They close the show. When did they ever say that? They never said that. They said they're part of a main event.
It was always assumed that was what it was.
Exactly. Listen, back in the day, guys, when I used to go to MSG in the early 80s with my brother, and I think you had my brother John Draper on the show, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, John, that's my real-life brother, same mother and father.
Get out. Are you kidding
No
me?
way.
That's my brother. Yeah, John is
No
my brother.
way.
Yeah, that's my brother.
That's awesome.
That's my brother. That's
oh man, Lyle's gonna flip.
Yeah, that's
threw me for a loop.
That's my younger brother. He's 3 years younger than me. And when we used to go to the shows, the main event was actually on in the middle of the card. So like sometimes there'd be an 8-match card, and the main event was either 5th or 6th. So they used to call that the main event, but the closing match was always awesome. So we stayed for the whole thing. And then then towards the latter 80s is when the main event was always the last match. I think it was right after WrestleMania, but 80 to like 84, the main event was like 5th back in the day. So, but again, they'll make sure the matches are strong, and it doesn't really matter. I think Sasha and Bianca are going to tear it up. I think I have a little less faith in Bianca because I just think she needs to be a little bit more, seasoned. And then I think she'll be ready. It's not that I'm not sold on her. I am, but I don't know if she's ready for the big dance, like main stage spotlight. NXT takeovers are one thing, and she did win the Royal Rumble. But again, look at all the stars and look at all the Royal Rumble is just packed with people.
Lost in it because there's so many superstars that are in the match. So it all gets lost. And then when the final number hits, that's when you get it. But
it is, yeah. And I'm sorry to have shocked you about my relations.
No, listen, that
I didn't know you guys didn't know that. I thought I'm surprised.
You're Castle and he's Draper, though.
No, both names are obviously made up like surnames. I mean, real
okay,
yeah. Well, we have.
Just wanted to make sure. I just wanted to get that checked out. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, no, we don't use our real.
Lyle that after he's gonna go get the hell out of here.
No, and also and he's in bands, and I'm in the club business for 28 years, and I've always used Castle. I used to run a club called Castle Heights in Queens for about 10 years back in the day in Jackson Heights from 92 to 2002. So that's where I got my surname from. His was when he started podcasting about 5 years ago, and he just obviously didn't want to use the real last name for obvious reasons. So he picked Draper, I think, from that show that Don Draper, whatever that show is, Mad Men.